Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on CADCHF. As usual, if you like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As we clearly see, CADCHF has been stuck inside this range for a while between our blue support 0.68 and green resistance around 0.8. That's why, as we are approaching the lower bound of it, we'll be looking for buy setups, of course, unless the price breaks it down in an aggressive manner. In this case, further bearish movement would be expected. But for now, as long as we are around the lower bound of this range, let's zoom into lower time frames and look for buy setups. As we see previously, the bears took over by breaking this low, and we have been trading lower, making lower highs and lower lows. But the impulse movements are getting smaller in size and flat. If you compare, for example, this one to the previous two, we can see that they are getting very small and, as mentioned previously, flat, which give us an early alert that a potential reversal might happen, which would be confirmed by a break above the previous major high, which is currently right here. Especially if you zoom into H1 time frame, which, like I posted previously as a picture analysis, if you remember, that we are waiting for this high to be broken upward for the bulls to take over, and thus of course enter our buy. So this would be our trigger for those who already know me previously, and the buy would be here, the stop loss would be below the previous swing low, which would be here for now unless price forms a new low before breaking this high. And we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market from a risk management perspective. And meanwhile, until the bulls take over, until we have our trigger, we can still trade lower and lower or go flat in a range here before breaking it upward, or even, as mentioned from monthly, break it down entirely for another bearish movement or longer term one to start. Before we continue, I want to tell you about Tickmill. Tickmill is established in 2014 and is one of the leading Forex and CFD brokers with registered users from more than 200 different countries. Tickmill is a no-dealing desk and ECN broker regulated in many countries like the UK, Cyprus, and recently in South Africa. With Tickmill, you can trade a wide range of instruments, starting from Forex to indices, commodities, and even crypto. Most importantly, with very low spreads and trading fees. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using my referral link in the description below to benefit from 5% discounts on your trading fees. And let's continue. As we clearly see, Euro AUD has been overall bearish for a while, making lower highs and lower lows, trading inside this falling wedge pattern. And we are currently in a correction movement. Of course, it's a big one, a whole trend, because it's a correction from weekly time frame, right? So on H1, it looks like a whole bullish trend, and we are approaching the upper bound of this falling broadening wedge. That's why we'll be looking for such setups on lower time frames, especially that the upper trend line is lining up with the supply and resistance zone from higher time frames. That's why we'll be looking for such setups, because price can still dive inside the zone before trading lower or even break it upward. In this case, we'll be looking for buy stops on the retest. But for now, let's take it step by step around the resistance. So let's zoom into lower time frames and look for the bears to take over. If you zoom into H1 time frame, you can see that we are currently forming like a head and shoulders pattern, so waiting for this to happen, for example. And anyway, this is our last major low, so wait for the bears to break below it before you sell. And when the sell is activated, the stop loss would be above the previous swing high, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market from a risk management perspective. Meanwhile, and until the bears take over here, we can still trade higher, maybe form a channel or any bearish reverse setup around this area. In this case, we'll be looking for the setups around the upper bound of this resistance zone. And of course, when we trade lower around this support, we'll be looking for trend following buy setups on lower time frames. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.